Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here at Starseed Dragon. Today we are doing a review of the Dragon Tarot by US Gaming Systems. This is the box. This is the back side of the box. They measure about, the cards measure just over 4.5 inches by about 2.5 inches, just over 2.5 inches. So as you can see, they fit in my hand nicely. And we're going to go through all of them. They are a beautiful deck. It comes with these cards, Dragon Tarot, a little description card, and a little teeny tiny booklet. As you can see, it has very short little descriptors. However, it also, if you would like to purchase it separately, comes with, well, it doesn't come with, you have to buy this separately, the Dragon Tarot by Terry Donaldson. This was printed in 1996. The cards were first printed, I think their first print was in 1995. They are still in print. This is, I will be reading the descriptions from this book. If you would like to purchase either the book or the deck or both, I do have an affiliate link at the bottom in the description of this video and all of the videos following it. I'm trying to keep all of my videos at 15 minutes. So we'll see how far we can go with each of the decks, and we're going to look at each individual card. Now, the back of the card looks like this. These are all the major arcanas that we'll be going through first, and I'll be reading the descriptions and little stories that come in this book, so that you'll have a better idea of the meanings behind each of these beautiful cards. Now, of course, in tarot, specific cards have basic meanings depending on what card it is. All right, sorry about that. We got it focused a little closer. This one is the Fool, number 0. And I'm going to read from the book of what the description is, so that way you will have a better idea of the meaning behind the artistry of these cards. And the book says, the Fool stands on the black and white checkered floor, representing the light and darkness in each of our lives. Above his head are 4 aces from each of the 4 elements, symbolizing new beginnings. In one hand, he holds a dice for the element of chance, in the other a jester's head for the humor which we all need to make it through. On the floor is a harp with which Orpheus made his descent into the underworld. The Fool speaks. I am the Fool, here to mark your entry into Dragonland. I note from the expression on your face that you are taking all this far too seriously. So actually, you're missing the point. It's all a laugh. Why must you be so boring and intellectual? Come on, tell me a joke and let's hear some real wisdom. The divinatory meaning, a new chapter opening in one's life. Additional triggers, on the left is the Druidic triad, showing the rays of wisdom. On the right is the symbol of Uranus, the planet of originality and eccentricity and genius. Ooh, pretty nice. Okay, let's move along to the next card. Number 1, the Magician. He stands on a stage in the guise of one giving a performance. Around him, we see the elemental weapons of earth, air, fire, and water, representing matter, space, energy, and time. Over his head, we see the symbol of infinity. He levitates above ground level, showing that as the magician, he is the master of those elements, not subject to them. He is the master of communication. The magician speaks. What's wrong with all of you? Always complaining that there isn't enough time, energy, or money, or whatever. Create some. That's what your real potential is. You were born to learn how to create these things. Once upon a time, before you lost your ancient powers, you weren't limited by these constraints. You will start by breaking your agreements with the material plane. I constantly juggle with these elements. To me, it's a constant challenge to see if I can use my powers of communication to win over the other side, either coaxing, persuading, or suggesting terrible things if need be. I am master of agreements. In my Nordic aspect of Loki, the gods often used to ask me how to get out of the deals which they used to make with giants. My less positive aspect is, of course, the trickster. Those who know my ways best are the salesman, the advertising executive, the smooth talkers, the professional persuaders in the press and mass media. Divinatory meaning, put across your message to a wider audience. Additional triggers, the symbol of Mercury, god of learning, study, and communication. Okay, and on to the next card. They're very beautifully drawn cards. I really love all of these dragons. If you like dragons, this is a wonderful deck to get. Number 2, the High Priestess. And the book says, the High Priestess stands between the two pillars of secret knowledge and initiation. She is the guardian of things hidden and intuitive. Above her, the symbol of the moon. In her hand, she holds the Tarot, so written in the magical alphabet of the runes. Above, on the one side, the earth, while on the upper right, the symbol of yin-yang, showing that the universe is in a constant state of change. Before her, we see a great cauldron reminding us of her association with witchcraft. From one of her hands, a rainbow descends into the melting pot, symbolic of the 7 levels of initiation, which we each must eventually undergo. The High Priestess speaks. I am the High Priestess, and I grant entry into the temple of understanding to those who I find worthy enough to enter. The qualification for entry is purity, which means that nothing else is strong enough to deter you from a realization of the truth about yourself. In the cauldron you see at my feet, I am blending all the different forces of life. The rainbow in my hand is the bridge you will now begin to move across to take you to the land of the gods, the land from which you have originally come. Are you ready to enter in here? The divinatory meaning, be guided by your intuition. Additional triggers: the moon, symbol of the subconscious and intuitive realms over which the High Priestess holds sway. That's a fantastic card. The next card in the deck of the Major Arcana is number 3, the Empress. And the book says, seated on a throne, she bears in her arms a newly born dragon, which has just cracked its way out of the egg. She is queen over all forms of creativity, on the physical as well as other levels. In this image, she is shown in a somewhat warlike visage, as if ready to fly to the defense of her brood. The Empress speaks. I sit here seemingly passive, but in fact, my creative energies, which give rise to all life, are constantly moving. I bring all living things into fruition so that they can learn their lessons here on the physical planes. For successive incarnations, you have sought understanding through the senses, hence your compulsion to be born in physical bodies. I am she who grants that wish. What would you like me to help you create? The divinatory meaning: the need to cultivate your own creativity. Additional triggers: the symbol of Venus, goddess of love, fertility, and manifestation. So beautiful. Okay. Next, we have card number 4 in the Major Arcana, the Emperor. So vivid. The Emperor also sits on a throne, emphasizing his superiority over all other dragons, bar his compatriot, the Empress. In one hand, he holds the Martian symbol of the orb with arrow, showing his association with dynamic powers of action. His color is red for blood, for fire, for the basic elements of energy. He is master over all realms of doing. The Emperor speaks. I am the Emperor, in charge of the highest level of gameplay here in Dragonland. I have achieved my position not through any system of inheritance, but through my own willpower and determination. It was in this way that the original leaders of your people were ever chosen. Because you moved away from that natural selection process, your civilization declined. Now I stand in charge. I rule. The divinatory meaning is the struggle for personal independence. Additional triggers: the rune Foh, F-E-O-H, suggesting cattle or wealth. On the right, the symbol of Aries, symbol of independence and leadership. So we have Foh, and then down below, of course, is the sign for Aries. The next card is number 5, the Hierophant. And the book says, above him an archway, for he stands at the entrance to his own temple. Beyond this, the symbol showing the link between that which exists above and that which is found below. A symbol reminding us that from the stars the dragons came, and to the stars they shall return. On his head he wears a headdress showing his spiritual supremacy in Dragonland. Excuse me. In one hand, a puppet, symbolizing the web of manipulative power through which so much of his power is held in reserve. In his other hand, an artifact showing the link between the celestial and terrestrial globes. To his left, a 6-pointed star to show the supremacy of the 12 tribes of the dragons over all other life forms. To one side, a ladder, hinting that step by step we grow to new levels of awareness. The Hierophant speaks. I am the Hierophant, and it is my function to preserve the traditions of my people, the race of dragons. I will do this through whatever means are necessary. I am the custodian, in particular, of the heritage which belongs to my people, namely the way of return to the stars. Until the time is right for this to take place, I will preserve the traditions and the ancient teachings. I exercise great power throughout my community, especially through the Brotherhood of Male Dragons and the numerous secret and magical societies of which even a number of your fellow humans are members, having taken the pledge of loyalty to the dragons in exchange for the knowledge to create vast wealth or acquire power. On my head you will see the 3 interlaced rings, showing the union of body, mind, and spirit. The divinatory meaning, power behind the scenes, also teachings and teachers entering one's life. Additional triggers. On the left, the 6-pointed star. On the right, the sign of Taurus, symbol of stability. The next card in the Major Arcana of the Dragon Tarot is number 6, the Lovers. Such a pretty card. And the book says, 2 dragons interlaced with their tails entwined, gaze at each other in a moment of union. Above them shines the yin-yang symbol, indicating that all love is in a state of constant evolution. The lovers speak. We are the lovers. Though we wear no outward signs of rank or privilege, to each other we are our own king and queen. We carry nothing to give each other except our own hearts. And as you see us here, we have exchanged our own hearts to each other. You see us flying very high up in the sky, which is where we dragons do our mating. There is no building or structure anywhere to be seen, because our love for each other is too strong to be limited by any material condition. In love we fly high to the skies as a reminder of that place from where we have come. Although we do not know where that is exactly, we do know that it is by the power of love that we will achieve that goal. The divinatory meaning, intensity in relationships. Additional triggers. On the left, the heart. On the right, Gemini, the symbol of duality. Very pretty. Okay, our next card is number 7 in the Major Arcana of the Dragon Tarot. And the book says, number 7 is the Chariot. The book says, a beautiful and rare golden dragon is drawn across the landscape by 2 other dragons. From the way in which the 2 attendant dragons are looking intently at the ground, it is as though they are looking for something or someone. We cannot be fully sure in what element we find ourselves here, whether water or air. At the base, we see a crab lurking behind some rocks. The charioteer speaks. I am the charioteer, and I move quickly across the sky. As you can see, I am a golden dragon, the rarest and most regal of our kind. I am looking for my daughter, who has absconded from the palace because I had forbid her love for a male dragon from the warrior caste. Oh, they have both disappeared into the jungle of the south, where literally anything could happen to them. Although we sent out a posse to look for them, I feel it in my bones that only I will be able to find them. The divinatory meaning, caring and nurturing. Additional triggers, Cancer, the symbol of the mother. And it looks like I am past my 15-minute mark, so I am going to continue on our next video with number 8, Strength. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.